bottom line? How do you engage them in doing that?
Well, we have a culture inside of our organization that really is a family-based culture, and then our number one core value is family first, and we operate everything through our business in a family fashion. So, and we believe that's a sustainable practice in business. So again, conventional tradesmen that may not have any education around sustainable, they might have heard it in the media or whatever, to embrace it as this is our core value. This is something that we operate by, and this is how we're going to do business by. And we get them to understand that we are trying to be on the leading edge in our business. We're trying to be the best at what we do every single day. Including the service values, the family first values. This is sustainable.
To know whether or not they're on board with that. And then the other question is, when you present a proposal to, say, a client, some of those expenses, that 10% premium, will be recovered in decreased operational expenses.
Yeah.
And how does Ally go about, it takes a lot of analysis and understanding to be able to communicate that so that they can make an informed decision.
A shift, because we had a meeting with Intercontinental Hotel Groups, and this was last year, and they did a study about 5 years ago about green hotels, and the survey was basically, I think, like 30% or 20% would pay more, and the rest wouldn't even consider it. And 2 years ago, they did the exact same study. They said it completely flip-flopped. Everyone expected the hotel to be more green. Not essentially to pay more, but just to be more green. And so you see a lot of franchises paying a lot more.
The government has a big say in whether incentivizing or penalizing. You have to take stuff to the landfill when you do a renovation. You have to get the licenses signed off by the inspectors. There's a huge cost to that, and in our field, people have to pay a little premium to have more heavily recycled paper. We're actually keeping stuff out of the landfill. Our government's one of the last ones to come to the table. This has been corporate driven, and as Mr. Smith said, the consumer has to drive it, because they're the ones who are going to have to pay the extra spend for it.
Extremely aware since '95, but it has been a journey. It's been a sustainability journey. I've been with Be Green for just under a year, but prior to that, I got a degree 9 years ago here at GW, and we all thought we were on the cutting edge of breaking the green market open. And here we are saying, we're on the cutting edge of, and I guess I'm saying, not time is running out, but time is of the essence. We have just so many resources. So
compete at a lower price point with, let's say, a sustainable product versus a non-sustainable product. But what about a non-sustainable product that is greenwashed, that they advocate, I'm sustainable, but they really aren't? Does anyone address the significance of that type of competition?
yes.
She probably does, right? Yeah.
Every day, and I'll tell you, 24 hours in a day, maybe you work 18 hours in that period. You can't explain every detail. You can't pick up every competitor's product on your buyer's table and say, seriously, go green? This is a piece of polystyrene and they named it Go Green. This is not green, But you can't follow them home. You can't drive values into them. This is an individual human at the end of the day making very, very important, sometimes multi-million-dollar decisions. So there's tons of greenwashing. Tons of greenwashing, which is why we're so grateful.
It can bring people into attract your products, as opposed to a greenwash with a nod through it, which could be done. But incentivizing people to buy and learn about the products, on a positive message as opposed to negative. Because when you're in presentations, if you go negative, it's almost over in the reality, because it'll create an atmosphere. You always have to stay in a positive aspect. So I think that delivering value is sustainable. And stay on that in a qualitative aspect. And if you lose, you lose. But the thing is, when you win, there's a lot of people who want your product. It'll start to have its own momentum. And I think, you can't beat everybody. You can't fall home. You can't sit there. What you have to do is win through, I think, a positive message, as opposed to hammering your competition, which everybody does if there's in a way. But it's really to bring the positive message forward of sustainability and good green practices as opposed to the styrofoam that says be green on it, which is always insulting, you know what I mean? Because you always feel like you're being put down when that is, but you know, sometimes in Spanish they call marketing propaganda, and I think that's a perfect word for it sometimes, you know, is that the word for that is propaganda, and sometimes you do get overwhelmed with that, and it does take leadership.
Do you, with respect to business context, anticipate using the seal to benefit your organizations and benefit your customers? And how can SBI support that effort, and maybe some things, some input that we can take away that might be useful for us?
Sustainability is a process and it's expensive. At a recent Financial Times conference, I introduced Baden Schindler, who just wrote a book called Getting Green Done. And he's the head, as probably some of you know, of Aspen Skiing Company. And he talks in that book about how difficult it is to really thoroughly integrate sustainability into a corporation. And certainly when a recession hits, how difficult it is to make decisions that if you have a very high quality hotel, are you going to put in new down comforters, or are you going to replace the lighting in the garage and make it more sustainable? And those are very difficult questions, and he's had to fight an uphill battle at Aspen Skiing Company, and they even have the support of the top executive. But we found that leadership is really the most important thing, because it's the leaders' values as they're integrated into the value system of the culture and the company that really gets everyone on the same page.
And that's exactly what the seal is about, is allowing the leaders to take these practices, methods that are under each of the three pillars, the environmental, the social, and the economic pillar, and be able to finance them or make them a policy or a procedure throughout the functions of each of those pillars.